Yeah, there was transformation that required uh, time and trust, just even within, forget the other entities. Westminster going through that process with reckoning with racism and interrogating their relationship with their own land and the stories that they had originally told themselves about, like when you have church members who have, pride in a church that's been around for over 100 years and their families coming down that the transformational process that happens when you dig deep in that land story, uh, yeah, it requires time and it is completely worth it. Similarly, there is a transformative process in regard to the neighbors around the land at Barbie's Village, because originally, with any new housing project, period, much less a housing project for unhoused folks and folks impacted by our system, much less of not, let's just name it, like non-white folks, indigenous folks coming in. It's like a trifecta of possibility for NIMBYism, and yet through the work that Westminster folks got involved in community organizing, got involved in being working alongside our indigenous folks in almost like a welcome party for Barbie's Village through relationship. And relationships take time, and they're worth it. I, st- I still remember one of the first times we did a whole series of like relational work initially with the neighbors, house meetings, introducing ourselves, and uh, I'll never forget. It was a Sunday morning. I'm about to I was about to preach that Sunday morning, and then I go look in my mailbox and I see a letter from like one block of neighbors saying like, "How could you do this? Like, you didn't even consult us." And like very angry. And I call Melissa. I'm like, "Oh God!" And the letter was not sent to me, but to my supervisors, the head pastors of the church. And I'm like, "Melissa, am I gonna lose my job?" Um, but Melissa, what did you tell me? Do you remember exactly?
I said, I think we should give thanks for this letter because all the things in the letter were so fear-based, and we're not grounded in reality. And PS, we did tell you as soon as we know this might even be a possibility, we started these house meetings and conversations. But it's like fear of losing parking, fear of trash, fear of needles, and like all of these assumptions, and things that, like, Chris is from New York. He's like, can't believe we live in a city where people like think they get to have parking outside of their house. It's like what a privilege, right? Um and I said, and there was veiled racism, in the letter. And I said, I think this is a gift, because I have never felt so clear that this is Jesus' path for us. Like I have never felt so clear that this is a faithful path forward. Because everything inside me, from our relationships with our indigenous community and neighbors around this work is one of love and connection and solidarity and grace, and honesty, truth telling, and this is fear. And so I just, I don't think I said this exactly, but it was like, yeah, like it all I could hear in myself was like, do not fear. Like this is, and it just, it made it really super clear.